covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Breaking news.
And that breaking news is reports of multiple fires that are forcing evacuations in our area. Shasta County and CAL FIRE says that forward progress has stopped on the Happy Fire, which is between Redding and Anderson. Now a new fire called the Knoll Fire on the north end of Redding, that has forced evacuations, but forward progress has been stopped on that. Now, Action News Now's Blake Mayfield is live along Oasis Road. Blake, what's the latest?
Well, Alan, I can tell you this much. In the last half hour, I showed you guys police blocking off the road to through traffic. Well, they're gone now. As you can see, a truck going by right there. Oasis Road is open back up to those that may live out here or are trying to get to family or even animals and pets out here. So that is a positive development there, that police won't have to keep the road closed for people to come through anymore. Also, Shasta County Sheriff's Office posted this to Facebook at 5:50. The evacuation order for zone 128 is being reduced to a warning. So that was an order for about an hour or so. That's reduced to a warning now. And the evacuation warning for zone 127 is being removed and is now in a normal status. So if you live in zone 127, those warnings are now reduced to nothing, basically. Everything's all good and normal status there. 128 is still under that evacuation warning, but the orders have been dropped by law enforcement. So seems to be good improvements out here. As far as the smoke and whatnot, CAL FIRE still flying overhead. Still pretty windy out here. Of course, been a windy day all day. You can kind of taste the smoke a little bit. It's not very thick. It has kind of dissipated. Some of it kind of comes back in the area, then it goes out again every few minutes. Nothing crazy, no big plumes that you could see from at least where I'm standing. I couldn't see any from I-5 when I was driving up here from Happy Valley either, so all good things right there. Again, if you live on Oasis Road, last half hour I showed you guys the police blocking things off here. That's all good to go now. You're good to drive through if you're trying to get to family, need anything to happen. We'll stay out here, get some more info for you guys on what's going on with the Knoll Fire. Reporting live in Redding, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Thank you, Blake. Blake just updated us on those warnings and road closures and orders. You can get the very latest at actionnewsnow.com. Now, also in Shasta County, CAL FIRE is battling the Happy Fire. That was burning just north of Happy Valley Road between Redding and Anderson. The fire started around 3:45 this afternoon. It burned about 2 acres, but forward progress has been stopped there. 3 zones to the east of that fire are now under just a warning. And breaking, we're tracking the Rush Fire in Trinity County. You can see just a touch of haze behind that tree on the left from where that fire's been burning. It's near Rush Creek Road, just south of Lewiston in Trinity County. All evacuation orders are now warnings. CAL FIRE says this one is at least 10 acres, 0% contained. And we have a list of all of that for you, the very latest, on our website. Just look for this story. But the fire condition, I'm not sure. Howie joins us now looking at the fire conditions. I'm not sure how to interpret this because, well, the fire danger is elevated and we're seeing the fires, knock on wood, and thank goodness we're not seeing fires get out of control crazy.
Right. I mean, that's a good point you said earlier. I love the point. It's indicative, though, the conditions of our fires, because all of a sudden the winds whipped up and moisture. Oh, sorry. We're okay. Just a chair, everybody. We're fine. The winds whipped up, and that wasn't the winds. I bumped into it. And all of a sudden, yes, some of these fires are getting a little more difficult to contain and control. Now, temperature-wise, that's on our side in terms of fires, but we're very, very dry at the moment in terms of our fuels, the vegetation, the moisture just evaporating right out of there. It's been doing that for weeks and weeks with 90 and 100-degree heat. And I talked about these winds. We're seeing gusts between 25 and 30 miles per hour. That's a no-no when it comes to fires, pumping oxygen, spreading embers, making it very difficult to control and contain. And these winds, they're going to be whipping around really until Sunday morning with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And we're going to talk more about these conditions in just a few minutes from now, Alan.
Thank you, Howie. And we are also on Fire Watch tracking the Rancho Fire that's burning in Shasta County. This fire is near Gas Point Road and Cascade Wonderland Highway in Cottonwood, out to the west of Cottonwood. That fire is holding at 157 acres. 80% containment now at this hour. CAL FIRE says that the fire started on private property yesterday at the north end of Rancho Estates Road. That property was established as a crime scene. The power is out for hundreds of PG&E customers in Shasta, Tehama, and Trinity counties. This is because of a public safety power shutoff because of fire conditions. All those pink triangles that you see there indicate various areas where the shutoffs are occurring right now. This is a PG&E map. So the area is directly west of Redding, also the city of Shasta Lake, and then down into West Tehama County and eastern Trinity County. To see the list of all the power shutoffs in the area that could potentially impact you in the coming days, go to our website, actionnewsnow.com. The community is celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Shasta Dam today. Construction on the dam began August 21st, 1938. By 1940, crews began pouring concrete. The Shasta Dam helps bring water to roughly 3 million acres of farmland throughout the state. The power plant is also the largest hydroelectric power plant in California. When the power plant is turned on, it produces 710 megawatts of hydroelectricity. That's enough power for nearly 710,000 homes. The dam also provides water for farmers in the Central Valley to grow crops, with 65% of the nation's food grown in the Central Valley of California. For the dam's 80th birthday, the Bureau of Reclamation is letting water out of the spillway. This is a test of the dam's valves and makes sure that things are working correctly in case of an influx of water into the lake.
You've got fisheries, you've got the environmental aspect, the recreational aspect of Shasta Lake. So there's a lot going on here with that water. And of course, we all, when we're at home, we want to turn the faucet on, have a little water come out. This is helping make that happen.
Going into the inside of the dam and looking around and seeing, how it was built years ago, 80 years anniversary. So I want to see what they did.
Dignitaries from Washington, D.C., including the Federal Bureau of Reclamation, the head of that bureau, Camille Totten, and Shasta County Supervisor Matt Plummer, they all showed up for today's celebration, that 80th anniversary. The vice mayor of Live Oak is among 3 men arrested by CAL FIRE law enforcement in connection with suspected arson and insurance fraud. Butte County District Attorney Mike Ramsey says Aaron Pama, who you see here in this photograph, was arrested yesterday in a joint investigation between his office, CAL FIRE, and the FBI. The charges stem from a February 2024 fire on Ord Ferry Road in Chico that damaged a farmhouse. Ramsey says that house and surrounding orchards had recently been acquired by Kirtesh Singh of Yuba City, Aaron Pama of the City Council in Live Oak, and Simran Pama of Sacramento, who's Aaron Pama's brother. Ramsey says Aaron Pama is charged with conspiracy to do arson and insurance fraud. The other men face similar charges, and all 3 are being held in the Butte County Jail. A well in Oroville was found to be too contaminated with forever chemicals to keep using. Well, now Cal Water is working on replacing this along Bird Street. Crews are just preparing the area for the drilling. We spoke with Lonnie Lind, the Cal Water manager for Oroville. Lind explained that back in 2019, Cal Water detected levels of PFAS in the well located on Montgomery Street, which resulted in its closure. PFAS are man-made chemicals that don't break down and are often referred to as forever chemicals. They're linked to health problems, including cancer.
Just really excited to be able to increase reliability for fire flow, for drinking water safety, and provide that at a really high quality for our customers. We're always on the lookout for that, and it's every time we get even steps more positive direction, and that it's fun, honestly.
Lynn says about 5% of the water used in Oroville comes from wells. The whole project is expected to cost around $6 million. However, Lind says they are working to get grants so that it won't all be reflected on your water bill. New developments in the complaint against a Chico Unified girls volleyball coach. At Wednesday's school board meeting, board members unanimously voted to uphold the district's decision in this matter. This letter from late May was sent from the superintendent to parents. It says that after an investigation, the district decided not to remove Coach Chaz Konopka, but it says action was taken to help prevent circumstances that could lead to similar future complaints. Families appealed the original decision back in late April, and we told you yesterday that at Wednesday's board meeting, 7 players were there to rally support for their appeal. One parent told Action News Now that 90% of returning players will not try out this season for volleyball if the coach is staying in place, which he is. The district told Action News Now in part that it's identified areas within the school athletic programs to be improved and that the 2025-26 athletic staff will receive extra training focused on best practices for interacting with student athletes. The full statement and the documents are available as part of this story on our website. Dignity Health raised the final construction beam into place at the new Sierra Pacific Regional Cancer Center in Redding this morning.
Is anyone else beaming today?
The final beam placement comes after work on the $70 million cancer center broke ground last September. Those who showed up for today's occasion got a chance to sign their name on that beam and forever be etched into the center's history. The names will always be there. Now, after the T. Layton construction workers placed the beam, Mercy Medical Center President Todd Smith spoke regarding the importance of the facility for the community.
We're going to really treat the patients as a whole person from start to finish, and for me that's what this is about.
The building will be nearly 40,000 square feet with about 60 employees. The Regional Cancer Center will be the only facility of its kind north of Chico and south of the Oregon border. Its opening is slated for spring of 2026.
This farm was carried on the shoulders of 4 previous generations before me, and I'm happy to carry on that legacy.
A historic family farm reaches a century of harvesting on the ridge. Their story in 2 minutes. And we continue to track that breaking news of multiple fires that have forced evacuations in Shasta and Trinity counties.